Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Sorry for the delay, we'll explain later. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening. It's my muck, the Old Bear, and the one and only Port Bear. So 2 bears tonight. Evening, boys.
Evening, mate. How are you two?
I'm sound as a pound, mate. Aye, good. Aye.
Good.
I'm knackered, trying to educate you two.
Tell you. Educate, but 15 minutes, that's not too bad, by the way, for me. I've never learnt anything in 15 minutes in my life.
Oh, I bet you have.
The two dinosaurs all better. Us two dinosaurs.
Aye. I'm just putting down 2 sticks there. I'm trying to light a fire.
Just to explain to the listeners, obviously for years and years we've ran our show on Skype, and Skype is no more, and we're having teething difficulties as we all fall into line with the new setup, which is Microsoft Teams, which is a different setup, and it gives us issues. Nothing to do with our technical team; they're working away in the background, sorting all the issues, but we'll get it all sorted as we end to the end of the season, and when we start the victorious season of 25-26. How are we doing? Port Bear, how are you?
Aye, good, mate. Good. Interesting game of the weekend, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But other than that, Port Bear's all good, mate. All good.
How's Old Bear? I must admit, you're looking better than the last time I seen you.
I must have been ill the last time you seen me. Or I'm ill now. Maybe I don't know I'm ill. Aye, I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's looking forward to the night. I didn't enjoy the game. Unlike Port, I didn't enjoy the game. I thought it was flat. But anyway, we'll get to that.
All right. Listen, I thought Rangers played okay first half, and I thought second half the ball didn't stick. We'll come to that. But there's a lot going on, and a lot of it's after part. And you want my take on it, Albert?
Go for it, pal.
I've kept. Well, sticks and stones will break your bones, and all the stuff that's in the media this now. And yes, there was a couple of goals, and I hope the guy who threw the ball onto the pitch is really proud of himself. You know, hurt the people you love, and we need to watch what's going to happen. Just let's be smarter. I just think it's all deflect away for the big stories. Now, the 2 big stories in the football side was, for the life of me, I've looked at it and I've looked back, I've stopped it and I've looked at it and I've looked back. And I think people who come on this show would maybe say that I'm reasonably fair in decisions. How can you know the interfering with play when you're standing right in front of the goalie, in his eye line, or in his thoughts, and you know he's there, and no be offside? I just don't get it. Somebody may have come on and maybe try and explain the rules to me, because I maybe don't know the rules of football. And the second one, they can save it the light. The guy doesn't play the ball. It's a foul anywhere else on the pitch. It's a penalty kick. Now think back, Old Bear. I'll challenge you this one. Port Bear, you can come in. Hadji, Easter Road. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And if you get a penalty kick, which I think you should, because it's a foul, the guy's not played the ball. He stopped a clear goal scoring opportunity. It's a penalty and a red card. And that's what I think all the big stories are about, to deflect away again. Am I going nuts? Albert?
No, you're still not going nuts, mate. It was happening for years, mate. Now, would you expect all this, though? It just comes along every time, mate. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. The first one, if you're just talking about the football, the first one's offside. I know they're going to come out with some mental rule, but I've told you before, as soon as you get these referees and these officials and the people that are running the game, these grey areas to operate, and they grab it right away, mate. What actually the rule means now that I can decide who's going to get a goal and who's not going to get a goal because it comes up. I'm not following any guidelines. I'm not following any rules. It's just all down to subjective. What I think that's a goal. It's going to be a goal. Forget about any rules. The rules don't count anywhere now. Same for play on. If I tell you to play on, you play on. You're not getting a foul. Just play on. And I'm not going back to book the guy either. Things like that, mate. Grey areas, penalty kicks. Hits your horn, doesn't hit your horn, maybe hit your horn, hit your kneecap, hit your horn. You know what I mean? I'll decide if it's a penalty or no. You don't get two decisions the same. It's ridiculous, mate. It's just all these grey areas need to be eradicated for the game. If you're stunning, he's stunning at my either in the 6-yard box, in that goalkeeper's eye line, and the and that is interfering with play just being there. It's offside, mate. It's offside. And the penalty kick's a penalty kick. It's a blatant penalty kick. Listen to that idiot, that Gallagher trumpet on that ref watch. I mean, the very unbiased man, aye, so he is. He's telling you it's no a penalty kick and it's no offside. I went, oh, there's a surprise, eh? The team you like and support, that's you're telling me that the two calls were right. I don't think so, but there you go. So, as far as I'm concerned, the game was a friendly anyway. It's a waste of, it's a dead rubber. It's a waste of time. But there you go. Let's not concentrate on that. Let's concentrate on other things. Totally nonsense.
Yeah, that's just my quick take on it, Portbear. Maybe same question you. Am I going nuts?
No, mate. No, look. I think the anorak, right? I like to think I'm up to speed with the rules and regulations of the game and understand football, pretty well because I've been involved with the game for a long time. I'm lost the plot and all next year with some of the things I've heard with pundits and that over the weekend and stuff. That I'll hit on the first one. The amount of time it took to find the offside for Raskin's goal, the first header. It seemed to be an age standing in the stadium. To find Raskin offside for his header, right?
Well,
and I'm like,
I'll tell you what, where I sit, I've got Portbear knows where we sit, and I've got a really good view of it. In fact, you know where I sit. Yeah, you've used my seats in the past, right? So I get a perfect view of that, and I said to the people I was waving the ball in the back of it, this is going to be chopped off, and I'm going to tell you what disappointed me with that was the Rangers' naivety. They were stoning offside, mate.
I've seen it.
Yeah. They were stoning offside, mate. So there's my point about I'm trying to be fair with decisions, mate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were offside, and by the way, ruined a really good header for Nico Raskin because there's no need for them to go early.
I agree.
And VAR's changed the way you have to play the game. We've talked about this a lot in it. Where before you used to say, the defenders used to say, you were cheating. I said, I don't care, it's a goal. It doesn't matter anymore because if you do that, it's going to be chopped off. So you need to play smarter, no harder. Port.
Yeah. Aye, exactly, mate. Exactly. It just, that was the start of it for me. And I'm like you, I said it, but it was offside. It looked offside to me because I seen Diamandi done it the whole game. When we had a set piece about the box, he was standing in the offside position facing our goal. And I thought that was a ploy, I know I understand. He run out. I see that at GB. He run out as soon as we play the ball, etc. But again, we're not watching the line, mate. To stay on side. But then you're touching on, Hatati standing the goalkeeper's line of view. Again, totally offside. I'm screaming. It's offside. I'm not sure. I'm like, whatever. Let him celebrate. We're all ha at that mob. Because I'm like, it's got to be offside. And then again, it's allowed to stand after a long check next year. And then you get to Hadji's, as you touched on, anywhere else in the park, it's a free kick, and he's probably showing McGregor a yellow card. And he's blatantly not played the ball. He's fouled Hadji, who was going to tap it into the goal, in my opinion, mate. So why did it have to go down? He could have put it on the roof of the net. But he goes to under challenge, and he goes off injured. But the check was over Oxford. It was the quickest check of the day. It was over and done within seconds. Play on his go, and Hadji was half injured. And yet again, he's committed another foul. So, and I heard them mention something about, it wouldn't even a red card because double jeopardy. You don't get the penalty and the red card now. Like, what? Never knew about that either. Never knew about this, mate. It's not stuff I heard over the weekend, mate, and I'm absolutely, geez, why don't you simplify it?
We'll not accept, we'll not take the red card, but we'll take the penalty, all better.
Yeah.
It's a penalty all day long, mate. That is a penalty all day long. We all know it. They know it. The officials know it. They're just not going to get it. The clowns up in the VAR box is just saying, nah, we're not giving you that one. Never going to win the cup final, we're not giving you that one today. And say they gave the penalty, it means nothing in the terms of where the league's going or who wins the game. It means absolutely nothing, mate. And they're just saying, no, that's not a penalty kick. You're going, that is a penalty. You know it's a penalty kick. He didn't play the boy, played the man. But again, this is another grey area with this playing players off the ball. I see it all the time. The old law, I call it an old law. I don't even think it's taken out. I think it's still there. The law of obstruction. Remember that, carry on. You can't obstruct a player. It seems to be that's just abandoned now. You can actually not only obstruct a player, you can actually grab him and wrestle him to the ground and the ball nowhere near the two ears, but you can wrestle him to the ground and nothing's done about that. You can block players for making a run. No, grabbing them. There used to be you stood in front of somebody to do a block. Now you can just turn around and grab them. You don't have to do anything. You do any move you want now to block somebody. There is no obstruction, mate. You get the defenders falling in their face. Try to usher a ball out the park. They're in trouble. They're facing their own goal. Just fall down. Oh, it's a free kick to the defender. You're going, how's that? Oh, this sort of grey area is nonsense, mate. The game's getting ruined, totally ruined with this absolute garbage. Just give the penalty kicks and the penalty kicks. Just give goals when they're goals, offsides when they're offsides. I don't understand it, mate. Well, a day and I don't. I'd understand it when it comes into if they want certain teams to get in competitions. I'm talking about international competitions, the European competitions. If they want certain teams to get as far as they want, they can in the competitions for commercial reasons. I can understand it, but it's cheating, mate. It's supposed to be open and fair competitions, and you go and have your game of football. Best team wins on the day. That's it. That's fine. That's what football used to be. That's what all sports used to be. But it doesn't seem to be that way now, mate. Too many grey areas, I'm telling you. And there's Port tell you. He thinks he knows the game. Up until the night, he's turning around and said, I don't know the game, and I actually think I do know the game. I don't know anybody that knows the game, mate. It's just non-existent now. It's non-existent.
What?
Oh, you remember I said on the show the other night, when I was on me, I said, football is a simple game. Absolutely simple game, mate. So's refereeing and officiating properly. And I don't know why we keep, having all these grey areas like law players talking about. Why don't we go back to offside's offside? Simplify it. And, a penalty's a penalty. A free kick's a free kick. A foul's a foul. I just think we've left it far too many grey areas, decision making. The referees and now these VAR clowns that can't get it right after watching it several times. It's supposed to be clear and obvious. Fouls, penalties, whatever decisions that referees missed. It's supposed to take literally seconds to judge on a TV screen. Look at it. And these guys are experienced referees just watching it, and they get it wrong time after time after time. And look how long we've been using VAR for New York's year.
I watched it. The boy was standing. The boy was standing half a yard inside the post, mate. Yeah. So he's maybe 3 yards for Liam Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. People will say that he didn't block the goalkeeper, but it's changed the movement of the goalkeeper. It's changed his thoughts. It's changed everything. It's all split second stuff, all better.
I mean, it used to be simple. I mean, the linesman puts his flag up. No, they're all saying he put his flag up because he's flagging the initial move when the guy picks up the ball.
That was the latest one,
aye. And I'm going, no, he didn't. He's no flagging for. He's flagging for Maeda in that offside position, right? That's what he's flagging for. But they've actually got it in their head. He's no flagging for that. If the linesman is flagging for them being in the 6-yard box when the ball's going into the net, the linesman's got it right. VAR's got it right.
Well,
and it's as simple as that.
Turn it round then. Turn it round. Say the linesman's flag was for the initial pass inside Dav, but I actually thought the boy was onside, yeah?
He was onside.
Aye, right. So let's say he did flag for that and go it rang and the ball ends up in the net. Then VAR should show that he was offside when the guy had shot at the goal. So VAR should have shot to goal up.
Aye, exactly, mate. But it's just all a nonsense, mate. It's just a complete and utter nonsense. The trouble with VAR and the way they operate it in Scotland, these referees said right at the beginning when they're bringing VAR in, oh, we don't want this re-refereeing games, blah, 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 blah. Right, that's exactly what they're doing now. And the referees are letting them do it. They want them to do it. They're not letting them do it. They want them to do it. They won't blow for a penalty kick straight off. They won't blow for offside or VAR. I mean, I told you either have one, you either have VAR or linesman. You can't really have both. It's pointless having both because at the end of the day, if it's not a goal and he's offside, it makes no difference, does it, mate? If it's only they're checking every goal for offside and that's what they're supposed to be doing now, it's pointless having a linesman in it. It's what's the point of him? Because if it's not a goal, play just continues anyway. It's one of these situations. I just don't get it. I've lost the plot with the rules and regulations of the games and what these officials are trying to do. Continuous fouling, professional fouls. It's sometimes I'll get it, sometimes I'll not get it. It just depends how I want to be or what team I support. Let's be honest about it. That's what it seems to come down to now.
Aye. That official done now. Mr. Connor, Mr. Clancy, Mr. What was that referees? Walsh. Yeah.
Walsh, aye.
Funny that. Funny
and
that.
Dallas and the VAR, eh?
You know, we know what they're up to, mate. And listen, I'll go back to my theory. I think I'm a fault. I'll come back to the football in a minute, but I think a lot of what's going on in some of the media, particularly in Scotland, is all protracted to take away for another scandalous refereeing performance and decisions that went against them. I accept your point, Albert, in the whole scheme of things. It was a league match and the league's done, so but I don't know if we ever play friendlies against them, but however, you want to win. But I think that how many is that now in the last few years? Cup finals. One got chopped off for a further touch in the goalkeeper. I mean, it was Daraskin touched him, but it was a further touch. We got a penalty, an absolute penalty for the referee, for the linesman who's refereeing, running the line on the exact same side of the pitch where he couldn't see when he had the TV cameras and VAR, so he doesn't know the rules. And he's getting to officiate at a top-class game going out all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
We know what's happening. We've got them in our sights, but that's another story. Port Bear.
Indeed, mate. Indeed. I've just, as I said, mate, I'm absolutely perplexed in regards to the way that the football officiating's going. I also think VAR's making officials lazy. I say because I think when things go on, you always notice a wee pause in play, and the wee finger goes to the wee ear because they're passing forward and backwards, their wee messages to each other, their wee code words, whatever it is, and next minute decisions taken out their hands, it goes to VAR, and again the conflab starts again, mate. As you said, it's plain to see. There's been far too many decisions, Oxygen, over the last few games against them. In my opinion, that's absolute disgraceful decisions that's made against us, and it's only happening for one reason. But I think it's because the Furies, mate. I think that they can see that we have clearly got them in our sights again, and we're again, like I said this on the show the other night, they were near problem this season. We showed we were a better team again this season several times, in my opinion, mate. I just think now they've got something to worry about. We're good news. It's about to come around the corner. And if this current team are taking points off them, it's like Nico Raskin said in his interview the other night, mate. We can sort out the details and start dealing with the rest of the league and continue our form against them. There's only 1 minute, Oxford.
Excuse me, chaps. Sorry about that, Port.
Carry on, mate.
Carry on.
Aye, sorry. So as I said, asking the other day's interview was excellent. I thought, and he's absolutely right. We take care of the details in regards to all the points we're trapping against, your St Mullins, your Hibs, etc. Next season, mate, 2026, 2025 season, keep my form against them again. They've basically, had a good season against them, in my opinion. So next season again, we sort out our problems at Ibrox. As I said, that's another problem. We need to sort them remedy very quickly before we get to this new season, mate.
Right, so we'll go back to the football. Listen, I thought that midfield functioned reasonably well at the weekend. I thought Nico Raskin was the best man in the park, by a distance, by the way, in both teams. I thought Barron done okay. I thought that at times Berjami showed up, disappeared a wee bit in the second half. Was working hard in the first half. I don't think my two so-called forward players were great and influenced a lot at all. I thought Jeffy had a poor game, I think, in the first half. And for most of the second half, Liam Balogun was the best of our defenders. He always gives you everything he's got. I've championed Jeff Dion here, as you know, Albert. His assets, his pace, his leap. When he was going forward, when he was going forward and crossing the ball with his left at the start of his Rangers career, I thought, I like him. There's something to think there. I don't know what's happened, mate. He just looks a bundle of nerves, and he couldn't read the game. He looks like a novice.
I'll tell you what's wrong with that boy.
Whether his confidence is gone, or he's just lost his form, I don't know. Albert.
I'll tell you what's wrong with the boy. The boy's terrified of Ferguson. That's what he's saying. He's shuriken him, constantly shuriken the guy, and he's lost all confidence, mate. Yeah, you're right. He's a bundle of nerves. He doesn't want the boy anymore. He doesn't want to go forward. He just stands there, and he's trying to correct any faults he's had in the past for letting people drift in behind him and score. So he's doing that now, and he's thinking he's doing the right job. Oh, I'm doing that. But he's gave up everything else. But he gets in that game on Sunday there. Ferguson done nothing but lambast the poor boy. He's only a young guy, got to remember. He should be encouraging that boy. No shouting and bawling at him like an idiot. No, I mean, he's got to calm down him. At the end of the day, the boy's trying his best. He's never played this amount of games. He's never really played at this level. And as you say, he started off well when he started breaking into the team, but he's away. He's a shadow, the player he was. Total shadow. And I just think the guy's just lost complete confidence. And he's an easy target. There's people in there Ferguson should be shuriken, but he's no shuriken them. He's shuriken that boy. Butland should have been shuriken for all the mistakes he's been making. Dessers should be shuriken for his laziness at times. Even Diamandi at times shows a bit of laziness, even though he's a decent player. No, I mean, he still shows times of laziness. Czerny's greeting and shouting and bawling coming off that part, and you're going, if you want to stay in the park, do something. Do something. Don't greet and moan you getting taken off because you're not playing well. And he get taken off because he never went in for a 50-50 ball. He just ran the other way, didn't he want to know about it. That's why you get taken off. He's lost patience with him. But he should lay off these young boys and let them start to develop and encourage them instead of giving them rollickings. It's not going to work, mate. And I think that's what's happened to Jeffrey. It's a shame. It's a shame. I think the boy's got potential.
We'll come to Dessers in a minute, but just like your take, my quick summary of the players, mate.
Aye, well, I thought for me, standouts definitely were Balogun, Raskin, head and shoulders, mate. Head and shoulders. The boys captain material, mate. I saw him go over the pitch, covered every blade of grass, snapping out tackles. Again, I don't know how he gets so much space in the boxes, mate, for his headers being a diminutive wee character, but it's an asset he's got. So he's doing excellent along with that, mate. Again, in my opinion, he's probably Rangers' biggest asset at the moment. I thought Barron was solid, mate. I thought he covered the pitch pretty well. But frustrated me, and it's probably my biggest criticism on the game of the weekend was the amount of time that Greg Taylor in space that we allowed them, mate, and we allowed Ralston on the other side of Ralston.
Oh, it was deliberate, mate. That's the problem when you play that diamond, mate. That space goes in there, mate. You have nothing on the wings, mate.
But it was frustrating, mate, because you're asking midfield. No wonder Diamandi was hanging with cramp at the end of the game, mate. You're asking too much for them. You're asking far too much for them. And we all saw it in the stands. I was talking to GB about it, and he was wondering what I was going to have my nut about. And I started showing what was going on. And he's like, right, I get it now. And I said, look what they've got to cover, because like Albert's touching on, Cherny, which you don't see you're at the game. You see it a lot better when you're watching TV. Cherny doesn't track back, mate. Cherny doesn't like doing the dirty work back the way. And that's what Roy Ferguson the other day. It's all right, you see him on TV and we're attacking. Cherny looks brilliant, making a bit of magic, changing a game-changing moments. But going back and covering tab and maybe getting to help the midfield when we were, these spaces were getting created. He's not for it, mate. He's not for that at all. When we're our backs against the wall and they were getting space, we need to close that space down. You know what I mean? So I understood why he was getting taken off, mate. Was I happy with the substitution when he put Hamza on the right? No, wasn't he? I thought that was wrong. I thought he was
mental, mate. When am we going to learn? That boy's a centre forward, mate.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. And this is what I said earlier on when I was asked a question a few weeks ago on the show about Barry Ferguson and his future as Rangers manager. Unfortunately, mate, again, a great motivator. He's done a job to the end of the season. Thank you, shake hands, mate, and move on. He is not what we need to take this team forward. Yefty as well, mate. Again, to touch on him, at best asset is going forward. He can go inside, he can go inverted as well. Very, very pacey, and we've not seen it for weeks, mate. And there might be plenty of instruction next year, but as Albert touched on, it could be boys lost all confidence, and because his manager's roasting him for whatever reason, his style of play, maybe wants him to defend more, learn the other side of the game, because obviously his biggest asset is going forward. But I thought that there was maybe 4 or 5 that I gave pass marks to, mate, but that was it. And you can't go and expect to win an Old Firm game with 4 and 5 players giving you 7s and 8s, mate. Maybe that sounds harsh, but that's my opinion, mate.
No, mate, listen, you win Old Firm games if you take your chances and you get it right, mate. And if you think about it, we scored a good goal for a break. No, they could have scored, except that Liam Kelly done well. We broke up. It was an excellent goal we scored, all better.
Oh, it was a superb goal. I mean, this is not my favourite player, but he took the ball. Cherny dummied it. Is it Barat? What do you call him? Diamandi passed it to Cherny. Cherny dummies it. Goes to Dessers. Dessers spots that clown Scalesa very, very well. He was pulling all his shirt and everything. He done well. And he just chips it into the goal. It was an excellent goal, mate. Quality. But Cherny, that was all he done all day. That was it. That was his sole contribution to that game, mate. And Dessers, that's basically what he done all day. So you can't argue with it. I mean, the forwards are meant to score, so they score. So you can't really argue with it. But the rest of the game, I didn't think they were in it much. Cherny, for me, I'm with Portler. He's a lazy player, mate. He plays for himself. He's all right. He's got nice touches. You can tell where he's going to go. You can read him like a book, mate. But he plays for himself. He's playing for his big move, mate. He's playing for his big wage packet. And I think it was yourself that says he's only had 2 assists this season. 2 assists,
I believe, fine.
Well, that tells you
in that
what you want to know.
It's not a lot, is it? That's not a lot of cutbacks playing wide, is it?
No, he very rarely cuts the ball back. He very rarely gives you the right pass. He's done it twice, basically, in the season. That's not good enough, mate. Come on. He scored a few goals. That is good enough. But come on. When a player's a real team player and he's playing for himself. And I just see Cherny playing for himself. I see 1 or 2 others that give me a bit like that. Hadji can a bit like that at times. But he wants to stay at Rangers. You can see how he wants to still be at the club. But nah, no for me, mate. And the money that's getting mentioned for Cherny, nah, no for me. Definitely no for me, mate. Too much. Maybe less money, I'd say, but no reported, but 7 million. I don't know if that's total BS. You know what I mean? But it's the rumours that are out there, isn't it? And you know how accurate the rumours can be.
Well, I'm no one for spreading rumours, as you well know, Albert.
That's true, mate.
Aye, listen, we have to. I mean, obviously the boys discussed it last night. Bridgeman, Big Southside, and Big Dorothy. So Dessers, Albert, you had your Albert. Look, calm down, Albert. Just calm down. You'll get your shot in a minute. Port Bear, carry on.
Aye, look, the enigma. You call it, mate, all the time in regards to Dessers. Like that chance that he got, when it comes to instinctive goal scoring, mate, when he doesn't need to think, doesn't need to use his noodle, he seems to do well and scores. And that's what happened. That ball's keeping him, bang, quick turn, bang, goal. That's Dessers in a nutshell, mate. And then he gets the ball and runs 40 yards, and you're going, pass it, or drive towards goal. Stop going towards the goal flag, drive towards goal. Ends up running straight into their centre half, mate, and you're like, what the actual heap, is going on in that guy's head. Even he's got thoughts in his head, sharing his running. I think the more that guy thinks, he just throws himself into a wild panic, and then ends up David done with that 40-yard run. He ends up tripping over the ball, or he runs into the defender. We're shouting the stand. Go on, get into that goal, go towards that goal, get yourself a shot off or something. Nothing, mate, nothing. I just think he's an instinctive striker, mate. And it was actually funny to see his pressure after it when he sort of praised himself up. If any Rangers striker had scored the amount of goals I've scored in 2 seasons, I think the Rangers fans should be happy. And you're like, right, okay, your stats are decent. I mean, you can't argue his stats in goal terms, but I'd like to see a wee video made up and to let me see the chances that he's missed and the ones that he's fluffed up lines where he runs into corners and makes mistakes, falls over the ball, etc. I think he should be showing that wee video as well as his goal scoring video, mate.
Listen, I'll stick up for him here. If you'd have said to me that he'd have come into a team and scored 47 goals when he signed, approximately 18 months ago, maybe a wee bit longer, I'd have said they're decent numbers. But there's meant to be on the park than scoring a goal. Doesn't mean you have a good game because you hit the ball once. Now, I know you're judged in that, and if it's a winning goal, you become the hero. I understand all that, Albert, but his performance, either side of that moment, was atrocious.
Aye, I mean, I know what you're saying. If somebody come up and said the 47, but if somebody came to me this season and says he's going to be your centre forward, you're going to win nothing, I'd believe that as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's not going to. You're not winning things with Dessers. No, as a first team choice, you might win and bring him on as part of the squad. Aye, you might do that, but you're not winning him as your first team main striker. You ain't winning anything with him in a team, mate. Just sorry to say that, but it's a fact. Because you're just going to say he was atrocious there. Apart from the goal, he was atrocious. He could argue the point that, well, I'm scoring the goal. It's up to the defence to hold them out. You know what I mean? And he has got a point. But no, it's no for me, mate. No for me. It's the same as your man Butland. No for me. You can't allow these people, these big name, big earning players to play the way they're playing and expect to win things, because it's not going to happen. They're supposed to be the mainstays of the team. You're supposed to hang the team off them. They're supposed to be helping these young boys on and bringing and developing the whole team. Game by game, week by week, mate, no year by year. Everybody seems to think it's a year thing here. You sit somewhere and you spring one of the young players in and you're supposed to wait a year, 2 years, and he'll be a good player. No, it's game by game. You've got to learn game by game. If you're not going to learn game by game, it's pointless, isn't it? It's absolutely pointless. It's just a big training exercise then for them playing all these games. But these guys they're supposed to be the important players. These are I'm going to say it again, the leadership group. I don't believe it for a minute, but that's what they're supposed to be. And their performances, you lead by example, mate. That's my philosophy. You lead by example. And if you can't save shots and you can't put the ball in the net, you're no lead by example. You're just kidding everybody on. And I think they're good talkers in the dressing room, and that's the reason they're in the team. I told you that before, mate. I think they just talk their way into the team. Because I think Ferguson feels a bit intimidated, especially with Dessers. I feel he thinks he's not on the same level as him when it comes to just speaking. But at the end of the day, you go with your eyes, mate. We keep saying this, go with your eyes. Look what you're seeing. Don't kid yourself on. Look, me, I like young Jeffrey, but is he having a good game? Is he having a good run? Absolutely not. He's woeful, absolutely woeful. I'm no many excuses for him. You've got to get better. You've just got to get better. This is right. I like Egerman as well, but keeping doing nutmegs and getting nothing out, he's not going to cut it, mate. Start focusing on the right things and putting the ball in it. So all these players that I like, I'll criticise them every bit as much as I'm criticising Dessers and Butland. But they two are senior pros, mate. They should know by now how to lead a team.
I just think I thought up until that moment he scored the goal, mate. I thought his work rate wasn't great. There was one where I think it was Barjami Port. You'd have got a decent view of that, where you were sitting when he tried to play the ball with outside his boot. He was standing offside.
Yeah.
He was standing offside. So even if the pass did come off, because he's laziness, mate, it wasn't going to be a goal anyway. If the boy hadn't got a totty and they would have threw him, he was right through and goal and put it offside, and the goal would have been chopped off.
Aye. Do you know, I had a sore throat from the road on Sunday and into most of Monday. Probably just like getting better this afternoon. And most of my shout was directed at that man at the weekend, because I tell you, see, if I was playing in midfield and the balls get up to him, he didn't. He was on his heels. I pointed out to GB a few times. He was on his heels all day, mate. He should be on his toes, bouncing the balls at feet. He's work rate.
You want to talk about somebody on the heels? Take a look at the penalty instance and look at Hadji, how he's stunning, mate.
Yeah. You know, so to give the team a break box, he's your focal point. So when you're bouncing the ball to him, you're bouncing into his chest, you're bouncing into his waist, so he can take the ball in, hold it in for you, to let the team come up to him, and Barjami gets close to him, Cherny gets close to him, whoever it may be, a midfielder's breaking for deep, gets close to him, you bounce the ball off him, it comes back, and he gets going again. But mate, he didn't give your midfield, your wingers, a break, or defence a break at the weekend, because he was not holding the ball up. And we praise him on this show time and time again for his goal scoring, mate, and we always say about his work rate, chasing being that first lead to the press. He didn't do that once at the weekend, mate. He was, I don't know what he was doing, but trying to fizz the ball into him, chest, as I said, into his feet, and it kept bouncing back off him, mate. It kept bouncing back off. A couple of times trying to flick it around the corner, and never got to anybody, mate. He was so off it the other day, so off it. And I thought when he got his goal, I thought maybe that'll give him a wee lift. Gee him up again. Mate, it didn't. It didn't. And that frustrates me to watch that, because you're looking for him to give you a break box here. Because sometimes when it's coming back at you and your midfield's working, like the engine room's going hammer and tall, you cover every blade of grass. You want the big man up front of you that day, a bit of a turn, a bit of a favour, and he just never offered that at the weekend, mate. That's how I was screaming when Hamza get put to the right. I wanted a good man to go up front, straight up through the middle again, mate, because that's where he's most dangerous. They're terrified of him. He come on the couple of dribbles that he had to run at Vickers and Scales. He had the two of them on the deck, mate. They were absolutely terrified, and they're sprawling over the flare. He's chopping it left and right. You know, he carries fear factor for them, mate, because they don't know how to defend against him, because he's so unpredictable himself. I just couldn't understand that just in the weekend, mate. I really couldn't. That's something I think frustrated me. But Dessers really, really, really great ground over the weekend, mate.
I think Albert summed it up. I think we played Igaman out of form. Yeah, we've took him, and if you look at most of the games, he's come on, and we played him at centre forward and let him, and that's when we're saying something special here. And all of a sudden, we've had him left, right, yeah, and he's been really ineffective. Yeah, he shows his ability and skill and all that, but he's, you want him edge of the box when people are really worried, and see what he can do. And Desser's good runner for him was when he came off the bench. As mental as it sounds, Albert.
Exactly, mate. They've got it around the wrong way. But Desser should be on the bench, mate, coming off. And you're right. When he was coming off and Igaman was having his runner form, Desser was scoring as well when he got on the pitch. So he's got that's what he is, mate. I'm not blaming everything on Dessers. I'm just saying you can't build your team around him, but you're destroying your team and the shape of your team and developing certain players by playing Dessers all the time. And that's detrimental to the team. You're not doing what's right for the team, the club, and the supporters. You've got to play the wee man through the middle and let him develop. Let's see what we're going to get, because he's a gem. He is a gem of a player. You can see it. He's going on to better things. It's absolutely no doubt about it. He's going to play in a higher league, a higher level than Scottish football. But we're trying to. I don't know what we're trying to do with the boy. You know what I mean? We're trying to develop him. That's for sure. because you're playing somebody in front of him that definitely shouldn't be there. It should not be in front of him, mate. You can't say Des is a better player than him. There's no chance, mate. Absolutely no chance that Des is a better player than that boy. But there you go. And this is the boy just starting out, remember. This is when he started his career, really. The potential the boy's got is fantastic, mate. But you need to let him go and realise it. You can't just keep doing what you're doing with him. Oh, we'll stick you out in the left wing. He's just wasted out there. In fact, they should be playing Curtis out there, or even McCausland, or if Cortez, or I mean, play somebody that can play take that role they're wanting to play. But it's no Iggerman's role. It definitely. And then why don't you swap it with Dessers and say you play that role and you feed him? But no, it doesn't seem to be. They don't seem to want to do it that way, and it's not working. The Ferguson's in there. Clement done the exact same. Ferguson went and carried it on. Now he's worked his way out of job, mate. Any chance it may have been a slim chance, but any chance that he did have to get the job, he's now worked himself right out the job by just sticking to the same nonsense, the absolute same crap. We go again. We've not won a game. He's not won a home game yet. It's ridiculous, mate. Think about it. It's ridiculous.
Six home games.
It's shocking, isn't it? It's absolutely
Six
shocking.
I believe is it six? Am I? St Mirren, Motherwell, Fenerbahce, Atletico. Oh, check that. Them.
Hibs.
Yeah.
Hibs.
Hibs. Aye, 6 home games, mate. Aye, listen, mate. Look, I thought I think again they were out coached because Celtic tweaked their system just slightly. And after about 20 minutes, mate, and then they just did that space in the wings all the time. They were fortunate enough we never got hurt with it. But it was 2-on-1s, overloads down that side of the park, especially when they sprung away for because Berjami pushed up, trying to support Tierney and Dessers, and all of a sudden you had the 2 in there, or the 3, but they were playing as a diamond, yeah, with Berjami at the point floating. Getting on McGregor, and so the space was all wide, and it was 2-on-1s, and people were having to do some shift. You know, hey, I'm sure you noticed that, Port. Sorry, Port, and you come up there in Port.
Just to touch on Barami, Barami had a great game, mate. A great game. He asked to do he got asked to do a job, mate, and he done it to a T. That wee clown wasn't in the game at all. Apart from getting away a penalty, that wee clown wasn't in the game at all. What he was doing was fouling. That's what he was doing. But I mean, it was Clement that worked this out. Eventually worked out how to play him, just shut him down. And he had Barami on him the first time we beat them 3-0. Ibrox. At the Cup finals as well. He's not been in the game because he's finally worked out how to play them. It took Gerrard and Beale a time to work out how to play them and all, but they clicked on it with Kent, pushed Kent right onto him. Brown, remember, just pushed Kent right onto them. And that's how you beat them, mate. It's as simple as that. And you looked at them, that Rangers team, and them on Sunday, you go, if I was you, I'd be really concerned, by the way, because that is a rotten Rangers team. No doubt about it. It's a rotten Rangers team. But they're more than a match for you. More than a match for you.
And they've no meetings for 5 games, mate.
Exactly. And with that team, and if I was them, I'd be saying, oh, what's happening here? Because you've got your number. We know how they play now. You know how to stop it. And the rest of Scottish football should be looking and going, is that all you need to do to stop them? Aye, that's exactly what you need to do. Just push up onto that midfielder. I've watched this for years with them. That same midfielder.
You don't got a cloak in your house, no?
No, I don't. I'm retired, mate. Every day's a Saturday to me.
Stop watching MASH. Sorry, Port Bear, I was going to come to you, but somebody was on a rant.
Isaac.
Right, we're having a tune, is that what you're saying? Oh, I was away. Some good moves and all, but...
Was he on Planet Janet, mate, was he?
Oh, aye. They'll give her stuff over your neck, lovely.
I think if you're talking moves, Fox is your man, isn't he?
Oh, aye. Oh, he can cut some rare shapes, Fox.
Oh, mate. What a jiver. What a jiver.
Tell you, put the rest to shame.
Oh, anyway, we'll come back to you, Port. Right, listen, chaps, if you don't mind getting yourself on mute because we're going to have a tune.
It's a place of great fame. It lies to the northland, and Ulster's its name. It has only 6 counties, but oh, what renown! And its emblem is a red hand, topped by the Queen's crown. Now the Germans came over in the year 41, and they tried to destroy us by bomb and by gun. But our history will tell them of others who tried. Our sons defended Ulster. They fought and they died. If a baby should speak to in his own rebel tongue, he will speak of our friendship. What can we be one? Just a point to the red hand, topped by the Queen's crown. Say we're side by side with Scotland, and they won't let us down. Like I'm brothers and sisters, that is all toast is one. That is ring to our Ulster, its heroes and sons. And while we are toasting to names we must join, that of William, Prince of Orange, and the thanks of the boy.
Right, Jeremy, all back, yes?
Yes, mate.
I'm back.
Yes. All right, just the point we touched upon there, Port, get you saying it, mate. I'm sorry about that. I know I came to you about 9:15 there, but
Cheeky son, isn't he?
It took that long, mate. I forgot what you asked.
seen nothing yet. I've still got the bruises for that pack pub he took me to Saturday night, mate.
Oh, I know. Elbows everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure I'll mention it tomorrow night. What do you think?
Oh, aye, definitely. I know
Right,
they were. I've seen where they all went to, so you'll let them tell you tomorrow.
All right, okay. Aye, so did I. I seen some walking down outside Parliament. Yeah, is that the same pictures
Yeah,
you're talking about?
aye, definitely, mate, aye.
But somebody that was in the know would have known that, eh?
Definitely. But anyway,
Yes.
we'll leave that at the moment.
Yes. All right. I might even mention Southside Super 6 tomorrow night. Well, should I?
Ah. I'll expect nothing less, mate.
Thank you, mate. I like some of your comments. Some of your comments are quite witty, old bro.
I'm not the author. I'm not admitting to any of this. Come on. Pleading the fifth, mate.
All right. Port, but in you come, mate. Sorry, we digress.
And I come about
You've not
what,
asked
mate?
him a question. You've not asked him the question.
Was that long ago, was it? He's like him a shoe.
Aye. About a season and a half ago. He's got you need to ask him a question.
What was your answer on? You're
Burjami, I said Burjami. I said Burjami.
Oh,
had a good game.
aye.
I thought that Burjami played, to instruction, mate. Like Albert said, I think he was given a job. You stop him getting the ball. And I think that's where we've had their cards marked the last few games. You stop Cal McGregor and you basically stop them because they always tried to play through him. And what Engel showed yet again was the best Belgian in the park plays for Rangers. Hence why he got selected for Belgium and Engel didn't he? I think you see the frustration with that mob putting Engels after 50 minutes because they were trying to bounce because they couldn't get the ball near McGregor. They were trying to bounce the ball to Engels, and he just never done £11 million, mate. He never offered Celtic a thing. So I think we done well on both counts. I think Raskin again just showed. So in my opinion, and would be probably shot down for it. He's the best midfielder in Scotland, in my opinion, mate. High praise as far as I'm concerned. That maybe people think I'm overreacting, but he's the best midfielder, in my opinion, in Scotland right now, mate. My opinion, mate. Sticking to it.
He's been man of the match in the last 2 games against them, arguably the last 3 games against them, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah. He was the best player on the pitch. By the way, their best player on the pitch was the boy Hatai. Their best player was the boy Hatai. Yeah? In midfield. But in the first half, we had the measure of him for most of the game. But I didn't like this skiing up the wings port. Yeah? I just think it was at times it exposed you. And in the first half in particular, you must have seen that Tav, they're coming down in it. Not so much 2-on-1, mate. It was like 3-on-2. I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah. And like I said earlier on, Barron had to go over and help Tav, or Diamandi had to come out and help Yefty because of that big, lump of space they were using. And it was frustrating to watch, Ox. You're going like that. Is Barry watching the same game as I'm watching? We didn't seem to react to it, mate. And it was worrying me. And I said that to GB. I was like, eventually they're going to rip us apart with us because, if we don't, Diamandi or Barron doesn't get out in time to, stop that overload in each side, they're going to hurt us with it. And it nearly cost us at the very end of the game when Naida went through with Tav's square ball. But,
mate, there was a lot wrong there. What's Sigerman doing thinking that we're going to go for a long throw, which, by the way, wasn't great the whole game, right? He throws it to somebody right next to him. I don't know what Tav's thinking about, yeah? Passes it right through and you're like, what has happened here? Albert, you went on about it a lot. We just don't think, yeah?
No, we don't. We get too excited, mate. This is what it's happening. Just too excited. We've no got football, calm football brains about the park. Diamandi does it with these stupid quick free kicks. I just don't get them. To nothing. To no avail. It's different if you're breaking quickly and you're getting something out of it. We get nothing. Igerman's I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep the momentum going. He's trying to launch which would probably be the last attack for us. But Tav's not having it. Tav's in a huff. Tav's doing his usual, getting an Uber out of the Debile to take a shy, you know what I mean? The nice slow walk, and I'm going on, here we go. Igerman get excited, throws the ball. Your man's no happy about it. Your man's Tavernier's no happy about it. And he switches off. And then he gets the ball. I think the ball went back to somebody, he come back to Tav, and he just gives the ball away.
Barron. I don't know what Barron was thinking.
I give it back.
Aye.
I know what you're talking about. Barron does that, but as soon as he sees Tav, he gives him the ball. Doesn't forget where he is in the park. He'll give him the ball. It's the captain. I need to give him the ball. Well, no, you don't. If it's the right ball, you give him it. If it's the wrong ball, you don't give him it. He just gives him the ball. Aye, it's that. But the Tav, that was sloppy, mate. That was sloppy beyond belief. But to be fair to him now, come on, what was fair? He did chase back, mate, and he eventually cleared the ball. He actually did clear the ball. So for that point of view, and I actually thought he played against that Hattati really, really well, mate. He actually looked like a real good fullback. He was cutting the ball out before it got to him.
It was only the two, obviously, when he got inside him for the goal. in that last moment there. Most of the time, Cav was in tap, man. I'll give you that.
I played him
Right.
well. He played him well.
You mentioned Raskin, Port Bear, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, apart from the colour, you see a lot of similarities to yourself.
No, mate, he's my kind of midfielder, mate. He's just, you know, and I don't want to take anything away from him, mate, because he's better than a terrier, mate, right? He's better than a water carrier, right? He's adding constantly his game. He's improving game on game. Now, when we signed him on the agreement we got him on, you know, he was regarded as the pit bull and the terrier in Belgium, you know, and I just thought we were getting a wee hatchet man, which I was happy about. I was over it, moon actually, we were getting one of them, right? But when you see him, the way he's been imposing himself in games, but not just in Scotland, by the way, I'm going to say he's doing it in Europe as well. You know, you actually see him dominating and imposing, you know, in midfield. He's constantly barking at the referee, he's barking at players now. He's just a presence, Oxtear, on that pitch for me. Such a diminutive figure. He looks like a guy that's 6 foot tall, mate, and confident. You know, he's wanting the ball constantly, starting moves, taking the ball off of the defence, going, trying to link up and getting forward in midfield. And as I say, this wee Naki's got a ghost into the box, but he does is excellent, mate. He's just developing, mate. As I say, he's the best Belgian in the league. And again, for me, right now, on his form, he's the best midfielder in Scotland. And my worry is, Oxtear, how long can we keep the wee man for? So what I want to say is, protect your investment in Glasgow Rangers, get the wee man on a contract, and offer him the captain's armband for next season.
Well,
What's your thoughts on that, boys?
Maybe, I wouldn't disagree with that, mate. I wouldn't disagree with it. I'm not going to go at Tav. People will think that is. I think, you know, you get to a time for change and you've got to move on. And if he's going to be an influential player, but obviously, that'll be down to the new manager to make his decision. The way he's playing and the way he gets involved, he sticks up for his teammates. He just looks. He is our leader on the park at the moment and has been for a few months, if we're honest.
Well, the standard he's playing at the moment is the standard of player we're looking for, or the department. So he's setting the benchmark. There's nobody else in the team setting that benchmark that high. We're all pretty low. There are still some learning their game, some coming to the end of their careers, some shouldn't just be at Rangers at all. So there's the standard that you're saying, right, first level is we all need to get the team up to Raskin's level. Now, Raskin might be the player that kicks on for that level, so we all need to rise again. But at the moment, he is the man, mate. There's no doubt about it. He's the man. He's intelligent. He might lack a wee bit in the goal scoring department, but he's got so many assets to his game. And I agree with Port. He's not just a bulldog, mate. He's not just a wee terrier running about the park. He has got a bit of football brain, a bit about him in total, mate. And he has got a superb leap, mate. He is, for his height, he's excellent in the air. Excellent. Not just
anybody else in their team.
Defensive headers as well, mate. He's superb. He's a superb leap, mate. But to my mind, the model is the model. The model is what we said the model was going to be. We've never actually got the model working, let's be honest about it. There's no doubt about that. But if we go with the model, we need to get rid of him for the right money. If the right money is coming in for him, he has to go, which is unfortunate. But on the other hand,
listen, mate, if Sky come in for you and they want you to do the Tuesday morning show, mate, and the money's right, you're gone, mate.
No, I wouldn't sign for them, mate. No, I'd be signing for that scum across the city. That ain't happening, mate.
All right. I'm on my principles. That's all you.
So on the other hand, you've got to start building the team to somewhere. You can't just say the model's the model and leave it at that. You've got to say, right, okay.
It's a balance, mate. It is
a balance, mate. So you sit and say, well, we've not got much to start this rebuild with, let's be honest about it. We've got some decent players, but we've not got enough to start a proper rebuild. No, a good foundation to start the rebuild. And I'll not call it a rebuild anymore because people don't like it. But to get the new revamp into the team, But and he's an asset. You need to make a decision. Say, could we just keep him and build it around him?
He's my best player, Albert.
Oh, no doubt about it, mate. I'm not arguing upon him. No doubt about it. He's the best player at Ibrox.
He's my best player. Yeah, by the way, the run of form he's came with, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't see him having it in him. I don't know how unlucky he was with injury spot. And by the way, that was a shocking tackle at the pre-season. So he never got a pre-season under his belt. So it just shows you when people going about that. He never got a pre-season because he took out so early, mate. It was a shocking tackle.
Exactly, mate. And then if you remember, right, when Clement first came in, we all thought, right, Belgian on Belgian. So Clement will probably make, Raskin his main man in midfield. Emery showed as a fellow countryman. But it looked like at the very start, Clement didn't fancy him. Because he wasn't, I know he was injured, but when he eventually got fit again, it still looked to me like Clement just did not fancy him. And I actually thought he was going to leave that Christmas there, just before. I thought the man was on his way to the door because I thought he's not good. He's not getting into this team. What's going on? And then eventually, you see all the reports on his own social media account and stuff. They'd went and get his own fitness coach. He'd went and got a nutritionist. The boy went and get this stuff out of his own pocket, mate, to take yourself to the next level. And it shows not just what you do on the training pitch when you're training every day at your work with your boys, mate. This guy's went out and got himself in a position where he's went and got his own nutritionist, like I says, and another fitness coach to work with him out within what he's doing at Ibrox and Auchenhowie. This boy said, right, how do I get myself to the next level? This is what I need to do. And, fair play, Mox, you're an example to everybody in that current dressing room. If you want to go to the next level and you want to play international football, because let's be honest as well, on his form in the earlier part of, his Rangers career, he didn't look like he would get in the Belgium squad, especially when you think how strong the Belgian current squad is next year. To think we've got a player now, we're talking about Belgium's golden era here, and Nico Raskin, who plays for Glasgow Rangers, is in that squad, mate, and played the last two games by not just for, he's not just a sub. He's played alongside De Bruyne and Witsel and all the big stars that they've got. So fair play amongst you. I can't praise the wee man highly enough, and I'm going to throw this out there as well. I don't think Rangers should be listening in unless you're mentioning between 15 and 20 million for him, mate. I don't think Rangers should be entertaining any chats in regards to his, him leaving Rangers, unless you're talking starting price 15 to 20 million, mate. And that's, again, people might shoot
I'll make it simple. I'll make it simple for you. He's 3 times the player that Ingles is. There you go.
Well, here, mate. Here. As I say, the best Belgian.
Is that simple enough for you, Albert?
Yeah.
Oh, it is, mate. And it's also true. It's also true. And I hope they keep buying that calibre of player. Having that big daft centre forward. They're crap. They are crap, mate. So let's hope they keep that up. But he's definitely, yeah, he's the best. He's the best midfielder in Scotland, no doubt about it. Anybody say any different, they don't know what they're talking about, mate. It's as simple as that. He is. And good on the wee man. I think to be fair, Paul, I think Clement had a big part in bringing him on. He did. He was injured right at the beginning of the season, as I would say. That tackle for that Ajax player in the pre-season friendly was shocking, absolutely shocking. But there you go. But yeah, I think he brought him on. He was talking about his diet, so he's took a bit of advice. He said he never done much for his diet, but it must, whatever it was, it worked. And that and a few other things, I'd imagine. I think that was a bit of Clement's influence in him, which is great, mate. That's what you want your managers or coaches to be, influencing these players and making them better. But he's done well, mate. He really has done well. You can't say it. He's a Belgian international. I mean, he looked in that team. He didn't look out of place when I watched that part of that game. He didn't look out of place at all.
I think it was his second of the qualifiers. He got man of the match.
Was it?
For Belgium. I think it was the second one he played. I can't remember who they played, mate.
It was, mate. It was by a long shot. By the way. I watched that game. He was outstanding. Again, same way it was for Rangers. Imposing.
They came back. They overturned a 2-0 deficit or something.
1-3-2. Aye. Yep. And it was, as I said, mate, it was, again, The De Bruyne that was on that night, mate. But who was the man that was saying to me? And this is not with blue tinted specs here. I'm really being serious here. You know, you guys like De Bruyne on that pitch and well-known Belgian international throughout that team, and he was like head and shoulders, mate. He looked like one that was fighting for every ball he does for us, making, you know, lifting energy. He was batting orders at Kevin De Bruyne. Mate. He doesn't seem to be affected by what's around him. He was still batting orders all these, you know, seasoned internationals, guys that play in Premier Leagues and French leagues and German leagues throughout Europe. And the wee man was just the exact same as we see him on a Saturday, batting orders.
No, do you know what he was saying to him?
I'm taking your place at Man City, I hope.
No, he never said that. What are you doing when I pass it to you? I'm not used to getting it back.
Yeah.
Aye.
So see in regards to these price tag, boys, what do you think yourselves?
Only, by the way, let's not talk our best players at the door, but
No,
I get it, mate. Everybody's got a price, mate, and they're talking about him in the EPL, mate. So you just watch this space, and you're right about what he's doing, mate. Belgium, I'll say it again, mate. He's 3 times the player that Engels is, and I'll make that simple. I think Albert knows what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's I agree, mate. You got a decision today. Well, no, I mean the decision's quite simple. Keep or sell. It might be out your hands. You might have to say to yourself, well, wait a minute, you've got, is it 2 years left in your contract? That might come into play. You're not going to sign an extension, you're going. If you do sign an extension, accept what the terms are going to give you. And the wee man's quite right. If it's down to money, well, he's gone to the English Premiership. There's no doubt about that. We can't match it. We can't match what they're going to pay. You know what I mean? It's a fact, isn't it? So it might be out of our hands. Mate. You just need to wait and see.
You don't know what's in somebody's contract, clauses, etc. Mate. You never know, do you?
That's true. That's true.
You know,
I've had a choice port. See, if I had an actual choice port, I would say keep him. If it was down to me and I had that choice, and he would listen to accept it, I would say keep him. But you know yourself.
Are you keeping him, mate?
Pardon?
Are you keeping him?
Oh, aye. I would keep him, aye.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a lonely job when he's standing there himself at pre-season if that's the only one you're keeping.
Do you know?
He'll give me a phone and say, "Am I getting empty else?"
Aye. No, I agree, Albert. Like I touched on earlier on, I'd be building my team around him, mate. And then, as I said, it's not, they disrespect the Tab. It's not because I want the Tab at the door. If Tab's going to be, he's going to be. If he's not going to be, he's not going to be. I've just got a funny feeling about the Tabs last season. I think that maybe his last Old Firm game. So therefore, to keep Nico Raskin, even if it's only for another season, guys, just to get us going for this new regime, keep him, give him the captain's armband and build your team around him, because I think he's got that quality. He gets it. I can tell he gets it, mate, because he's a winner. He wants to win everything. He wants to win that first, second ball, the headers in the box, where it's in, you know, attacking or defending. He's an example, mate. He's a guy that I'd want to go to war with. You know, if I'm seeing my captain or even a teammate playing like that, I'm trying to match it. I'm trying to better it. You know what I mean? So I just think, you know, everybody laughed when Raskin first signed, and some people criticised him for saying, you know, I want to go to Chelsea. I eventually see myself playing at Chelsea. And I remember people saying, you know, he's using Rangers as a stepping stone. That's terrible, saying that and all that, carry on. What's up with ambition, lads? What is up with being ambitious? What, you know, he was young. He's still a young boy. You know, I want to play for Chelsea. Good on him. I hope they all feel like that. You know, at Rangers, if you're trying to go to the top in this game, he will use Rangers as a stepping stone, especially if you're his age. Because you want to go there in the big bucks and play under the big lights at Premiership, Spanish League, whatever it may be. So I wasn't too bored with what he says. I just think it showed me about his ambition. And if you want to be as ambitious as that, to play in the Premier League for Chelsea, one of the top 4-6 teams in that big league down the road, you know, fair play to him. And that's what I want to hear for other players as well, by the way, boys.
I think what upsets the older supporters is we remember we were a big team. We remember when we were the end goal that you didn't. If you left the Rangers, you were going down the way. That's what sticks in our throat, and it's just so that the wee man's just saying it the way it is, and he's not saying any lies. He's not talking out. I felt a wee bit. Well, if you want to go and play for Chelsea, we can play for Chelsea then. But it's no facing up to reality in life. No, I mean it's just that football is what it is now. I don't like it. I like Rangers to be the end goal. I want people to sign for Rangers, play well for Rangers.
You never know. Things are changing, but I'm sure we'll come to that as the week on evolves. But listen, Nico Raskin, I don't disagree with anything he's said about his ability. He's really surprised me. And by the way, I think it was your good self. I'll maybe get back a wee while now, Albert. And I know there's been a lot of refreshments since. However, I think you said that you always thought that Cantwell was a bad influence on him.
Aye, I did, mate. And I still think Cantwell's just a badge, mate. He's just one of the boys. He doesn't bring continuity to a team. He brings conflict and disagreement to a team, mate. He's just one of the players. And he was a young boy. What do you call him? Raskin's a young boy, and he can be influenced with people like your man there, Cantwell. The best thing that happened was Campbell leaving. Maybe that's one of the reasons that thing they said he was going. What do you call him? Clement says I didn't want him in the team, so he's going. So at the end of the day, it worked out well for the wee man. He should come in contact with people like that, but learn. Don't follow their lead. Don't. It's no. He's done well, the wee man. Can't he take it away from him? He's done well. If he gets his move, if he wants a move and he gets his move, and we get more money, everybody's a winner, isn't they? But my preference is to keep him, mate, and build the team around him. But again, Port, I don't think they'll. Well, I don't know. The 49ers are going to do, but I don't think they'll wreck a wage structure for him. I don't know. They'll wreck the wage structure for anybody. To be honest with you, but should they? Debatable. If you do,
I think it should be sensible, mate. I think it should be a sensible offer, but I think he'll still be on the early stages money when he first joined. So, I'm just going on form alone, mate. I think he deserves. I think because what he's offered, certainly this season, the step up he's made, I think he's even if you want to make him captain next year and you were just give a guy a lift, for his performance and the way he's carried himself this season, because it's not just on the park, mate. It's when you see him in interviews, he's for a Frenchman, he's a Belgian who speaks French. He's been a great wee talker. He talks a lot of sense. You can see he's talking with passion. He hurts. You hear his interview the weekend. He was hurt, mate. He was devastated that we lost that game. And he spoke about his teammates need to be more clinical in that final third. And he was getting himself by the way as well, because he'd a couple of chances, the other header, and that wee chance that broke him in the box as well. And he was very critical on himself as well. And that's what I like, mate. I like giving about the wee man. It just, for me, he's became Rangers captain material, mate. I know I'm waxing lyrical here about him, but I think if anybody's honestly watched him and his development at Rangers over the last 18 months, there's no denying that he's had a lift-off moment at the club, mate.
The ideal scenario, mate, is to give him another year's extension, up his wages and have a chat about where it's going to go.
Bang on, mate. Exactly.
That's the ideal scenario. Yeah. That protects your asset.
Yeah.
And that can work for you, Albert. The guy can go from strength to strength. Or you get a bad injury, you just don't know. But that would be the ideal scenario for us, I think, as a club, if I'm honest. Right, okay. I think we're on agreement. Nico Raskin's playing well, and not the best team we've seen. Rangers team we've seen with a lot of deficiencies in it, and it's going to be interesting what happens during the summer. I just want to touch on some of the off-field stuff, if that's all right with you two gentlemen. And obviously, you'll be your diplomatic best as always, Albert. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'll hold my tongue.
I mean, diplomacy's your forte, isn't it?
That's my watchword, mate.
Yes. Look, sticks and stones break your bones, names will never hurt you. People look to get offended now all the time. I'll talk about our support. I said at the start of the show, we have to stop making own goals, i.e. balls getting thrown on the park, etc. That it's just not a good look. It's not good for the club, and eventually, the area that's comfy, you could end up getting that whole stand shut down or part of it shut down, mate. And it's no fair to the people who are involved who don't do that. So we know what happened. Everybody's seen it, and for Mr. Keevans to say that, I think it was Danilo ran on the park to hide the evidence. Jeez, it's there in black and white. Everybody's seen it. You can, just the boy maybe want to get off the park in case somebody get hurt. Yeah, and that's the way I looked at it. They were just saying, Casemiro. Sorry. Anyway, he looked fitter than some of our players. Right when he ran on. Let's no score own goals, right? I think the three is in agreement with that. Is that?
Absolutely. Just doing the bottle. Let's get it out here. We condemn that. Of course, we condemn that. It's stupidity at the highest level, mate. It could cause real damage to somebody that landed hit his target, whatever target it was aimed at, and it's daft. It could have smashed. Somebody could have ran into it, smashed it, and there's glass all over the place. All sorts of things. No, it was nearly as bad as Scooshgate. Oh, but it needs to be addressed. Not just in Rangers, all of Scottish football. So let's get that out there right away as well. These things happen all over the place, mate. They have been happening for years, but these mainstream media, your Keevans, trumpets like that, don't want to report that. That never gets reported. It's just when it's Rangers involved.
You mentioned Scooshgate. Did you see all the stuff that was thrown when that happened?
Exactly. And then you've got that other Rodgers out shouting about the bottle in the park, which is fair enough, fair comment. He's got the right to say it. But he's also kept very quiet about all the stuff that happened at Parkhead when Tavernier and the Rangers players were getting battered there for Rigamani scored the winning goal. Didn't he seem to want to mention that? And they mentioned the court case. Didn't want to seem to mention that either. No, the worst thing that's ever happened in Scottish football, period. So they didn't want to mention any of that. But for our case, wrap that. Whoever threw that bottle deserves to get booted at Ibrox. I don't like to see any Rangers supporter getting booted out at Ibrox, but they need to screw the head with us. This is nonsense, mate. Keeping throwing this stuff on the park. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. But Rangers, that idiot Stewart needs to learn a lesson here, by the way. And the lesson he needs to learn is he should follow their lead across the city. Internal investigation needs to be carried out. An internal investigation. Because with internal investigations in this country, and Fat Lywell's already proved this point, you never really have a conclusion out of them. You just have them. Not. But no, you don't have to report to anybody. Ongoing, mate. But some of his investigations have been going for about 12 years, I'd imagine. They've been going on a long way.
Well, some of them started mid-90s, mate. Some of their investigations, yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? But for throwing bottles on the park, get a grip. Whoever done it, get a grip, man. Come on, think about it. It's stupid.
The only thing you're going to hurt eventually is the thing that we all say we love is the Rangers, because the stand will get shut, mate. At some point, it'll happen in a European game and it'll get shut. And don't be surprised if we start the season well. They come after us with some other angle in Scottish football. So please, name our own goals. Portman.
I just echo what Albert says, mate. You know, that's why. It's the only thing I condemn, mate, is objects getting thrown at the pitch. You know, dangerous. You know, a bottle, mate. Absolutely. And it's, you know, we've been warned off UEFA. We're getting watched off of them in regard to our songbook. You know, we've been warned off of the SFA previously for items. And it just seems to be creeping into the game a wee bit, this object thrown, mate. And it's both sides, by the way. But I thoroughly, you know, what they basically explain to the fans and stuff. We need to stop this, because like what you're saying, Ox, it'll affect the 12th man. They'll shut the stands down, then the paid public will miss out. We'll miss Union Bears will get banned for their section as well, mate. Something will happen. Because there's another way to shaft us. And I just say to all Bear as well, in regards to internals, there's only one club that does internals, mate, and that's that team over the street. So I'll leave that there with that slide. But it's not just a scandal in Scottish football, mate. It's also a scandal in world football that's been brushed under the carpet. But You know, there's bigger stories at Ibrox, I suppose, as they always seem to find.
Yes. Yeah, a wee message from our support seems to have upset them all. You know, I wonder. I mean, I thought the actual tifo itself, without the words, you know, when I seen the tifo and just the detail in it, mate, as soon as his watch and that all picture.
Outstanding, mate. Outstanding. I was in a great position to see it coming out. Thought it was absolutely outstanding. I'm going to be honest.
I'm just going to have to cut across you because somebody's cracked the code. Hope you enjoyed it, Billy. Evening, Billy.
Evening, mate. How's it going, troops? I've missed half the show there trying to download this app. I thought Albert was my damn murder.
Oh, Albert, man. He done it and said, what was that one? The Crystal Maze? This is like a Crystal Maze getting on here now.
It's like online. I don't know what the Crystal Maze, like online Captain Factor trying to work this out.
Well, you're here now, William. You're here now.
Aye.
I don't know if I think much of your avatar. You showed that in my work. You might be in trouble, but carry on.
Well, I was listening to the show earlier on there, mate, obviously, and you were talking about the VAR and the state of referees and whatnot, etc. And excuse me, I came on the show a couple of years ago, mate. I can't remember if I was on one of the panel at the time or I'd called in. I can't remember. But I mentioned it.
I'll remember.
I bet you will. No, what it was, Ox. I mentioned that I was at one of the sportsman dances, right, a number of years ago through this way, and Alex Ray was at it, and it was one of the question answer things, and one of the boys stood up and he says, "Listen, is there an agenda against Glasgow Rangers?" And Alex Ray responds to that. He turned around and he says, no, mate. He says, it's just the standard the refereeing is terrible in Scotland and there's nothing coming up through the ranks to better it, right? Now, that's all well and said. That's fair enough, right? But as I said, that was about 4 or 5 years ago at Sportsman Dance. And if anything, guys, the standard the refereeing has got actually worse. Right now, we've introduced VAR to try and help these guys, etc. And there's certain referees at a certain standard, at a certain level, getting put into positions in the VAR room. Now, if they can't come up with the correct decision after looking at things for XYZ amount of minutes, sometimes it takes them seconds when it suits them, sometimes it takes them longer than that when it suits them. If they can't come up with that and get the right decision within them, right, in the 2 periods of time that I questioned, then there's clearly something not right here. Now, it's either they are incompetent or there's a clear different agenda here. Now, if it's the latter, I want to know why Glasgow Rangers Football Club are not coming out and challenging this, because the silence for your club is deafening. And these decisions have went on and on and on over the last 2 or 3 or 4 seasons, with Rangers not getting decisions here. And the Tardelli's out there, lobby laughing and hee-hawing and all the rest of it because it's all rosy in the garden. Well, laugh away, guys. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, those hypocrites across the city at Purgatory FC would be throwing the toys out the palm and the sharks and all that would be getting launched constantly.
Right.
And
can I just ask you, Billy?
Yes.
Can I ask you just quickly, and on the 2 big decisions, I suppose it was 3. I thought Raskin Cedar was offside personally. I don't know what your take on that was, yeah?
Yeah, it's offside, mate. Yeah, I said it right away.
I
Yep.
agree, mate.
Yep.
The goal that they scored, mate, what's your take on that, mate?
He's offside. He's offside. That's I can't for the life of me. No, do you know? See if that's no offside, Ox. You're as well pulling the plug and putting the lights out in football. It's as simple as that. If these, back to what I said, if these officials are that incompetent and they can't collectively get to the correct decision after video evidence of watching a goal back, then they should not be in that position. And if they're incompetent, then they shouldn't be there. And if there's a different agenda, Ox, then they definitely shouldn't be there. And if it's the latter, as I said, Glasgow Rangers should be challenging us.
Let's get into the third decision then, yeah?
Yep. Stonewall penalty all day long. But I'll throw one into the mixer and all right. Callum McGregor had 11 fouls in that game. 11 fouls within the 90 minutes plus extra time. How is he no yellow carded?
I don't disagree.
The same scenario was with Scott Brown as well. On numerous occasions in big games, etc., the referees were waving away decisions for the Golden Boys. Now, the rules of the game clearly say that if you persist in fouling, you're fouling constantly, you get XYZ amount of warnings, maybe say, right, that's you had 3 chances, no more. The fourth one, whatever, it's a yellow card. He had 11. 11 he had. And there was not one yellow card brought out to him. Not one.
I knew he was heavily involved in fouling, but I didn't realise it was his money. But listen, Billy, we touched it at the start of the show, and I'll go to Albert. We don't disagree. I mean, I didn't see it. I actually didn't see it on the telly to last night. Because it was the first my eyes were all right after being out with Albert. And I watched it and I was like, right, okay, let's watch this, let's watch it. And then, well, surely he's going to go and look at it. And he's just chopped it off with VAR. He doesn't even go and look at his decision. I don't get it, Albert. I don't get they're not using the tools that they're meant to be having. And then it's the VAR guy that's making the decision. They're not using VAR to... then the referee makes his decision. It's the referee that's refereeing the game. And the point that you keep making.
VAR, in Scotland, VAR's making the decisions. The referees are that bad, they've abdicated any responsibility for making decisions with offside, free kicks, offsides, sending offs, and penalty kicks, mate. They've just abdicated. They've gave up, mate. They just don't want to do it anymore, so they just leave it for VAR. The very thing they said they didn't want to happen, VAR re-refereeing the game. VAR's actually refereeing the game, let's be honest about it. But to answer one of Billy's points is with Alec Ray saying that, no, it isn't, they're just bad referees. That's true, but I'll tell you something, mate. Frank Connor proved the point that Buster Keaton is happening in the game, mate. It's beyond doubt now, mate. There is corruption in the game. He's proved it, mate. With his carry on at the League Cup final. We all suspected it. We're not the only team that's actually saying it now. There's a few other teams now coming out and actually saying it about this mob getting every decision. And then he goes and does what he does, mate. And it's a fact of life, mate. There's Buster Keaton going to happen in the game. We all knew it. Saturday's game is just another wee, and that's a wee example of it, mate. That's not even a bad one. That's just a wee example of it. What's going on up here? For a meaningless game, mate. A total and utter meaningless game, and they still can't get it right. It's madness, mate. It's madness. Until somebody starts calling this out, and it can't be Rangers because they don't listen to us. It's just they'll never listen to us, mate. If we say black, they're saying white. Every time, mate. Every time without a shadow of a doubt. So I'd say the game's a busted flush up here years ago, mate. I still stick to that. There's no way back for this game up here. It's gone, mate. It's finished. As a fair competition, it's done. A certain team don't want any competitions. They just want to win every game, and they really don't care how they do it, mate. By fair or foul means, mate, they don't care how they do it. They just want to do it. And you sit at the end of the day and say, come on. No team in the world has the success that they have in the run they've had. No team in the world, mate. They're putting it down because we're a really good team. No, you're no. Get a grip.
Did you watch them in that first half? A really good team.
Aye, a really good team. I said that, mate. They're bang average at best, bang average. I don't see nothing about them. Europe proves the point, mate. Europe proves the point. Look at the state of them in Europe. It proves the point. They're crap, mate. They're just crap. The whole club's it's beyond repair, mate. That club, that's just gone. That's just a gone, mate. That is ridiculous. That club's still in existence. It really is.
Do you know what's
my
scary?
point that
Sorry,
that's
mate.
scary, mate. Go for it.
All right,
do you know what's
put
scary?
there in you come.
Sorry, Ox. Do you know what worries me over the last few seasons? You know, obviously they've on the new 4 titles in a row, and we've not really get close to them. And that's obviously they've won a few trophies in cup finals, etc., because of dubious decisions. But I'm going to throw us in. Say that was a league decider yesterday, Oxford, Old Bear and Billy. That's a league decider, and then decisions are happening on league deciders. You know, there'd be absolute uproar, and I'd like to think that our club would stand up for us. All right, they're getting all the decisions at the moment because of maybe where we are, you know, and we're not expected to go and challenge them for titles just yet. But over the next few...
Why shouldn't we be challenged, mate?
No, we should.
We've just took 7 points out of 12 off them. They've took 4. It's their problem, isn't it, then, mate?
No, I know that, but that's what I'm getting at. What if that was a league decision yesterday, mate, and them decisions again went against us, i.e. the penalty, you know, the offside. You know, again, we're losing possible league decider on decisions that these refs, and Billy's right, the poor standard our refs, because there's nobody coming through. You don't even hear any players coming through, because as I keep saying, VAR's making it easy and giving them a cop-out to make the big difficult decisions. You know, there was a bit of a wee melee in a pitch with Nico Raskin. I don't know if you remember this, boys, and Callum McGregor, where Callum McGregor's lifted his hand 3 times to Raskin, pushing him. I know it's only a push, but it's lifting his hand. And again, the referee totally ignores McGregor lifting his hand. And Raskin's telling the ref, he's done it again. So he's trying to show the ref. He only done well to keep his calm. But
it happened in the last game. In the last game at Ibrox. He never gave him. He should have been sent half at half time, shouldn't he? He'd already been booked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He bottled it, absolute cowards, mate. What does he do when the boy Bailey Reese comes on? First challenge, Oxford. All right, wee bit late. He books the boy. First challenge, and then the wee other side player, the wee boy coming up front, again kick the ball, a bit of petulance. Again throws it at a kid because it's wee boys. No your Callum McGregors and your Cat Biggers, all them who persistently foul as well. He went for the 2 youngest boys in the pitch, booking them. By the way, Bailey Reese was lucky he never get sent off after that booking, mate.
But Port, you don't need to surmise about if that was a league decider, right? I'm going to tell you something, and you've got to face up to this. We've not beat them in a meaningful game in years, mate. Years. Every meaningful game they win. The games we're beating them, there's nothing at stake, mate. You might argue, we're close in the league, but there's really nothing at stake. The one game that we played them this season that meant something was a League Cup final. Look what happened there. There's real Buster Keaton going on all over the shop, mate.
Fair comment.
But we've never beaten them. The Scottish Cup as well, it's just to throw that one in as well.
Yeah.
Aye, goal chopped off. Somebody tickled the goalkeeper. Tickled it. It was been Nico,
So
wasn't it?
we've not beaten them in a meaningful game for years, mate. Years.
And you come, Billy.
Listen, I agree with everything he's saying there, and all bears bang on. You're 100% correct. You know, and they'll be sitting there again saying, "Oh, listen to him just whining and bitching." Well, it's no whining and bitching. It's called the truth. That's what it's called. You know, all the big decisions or the dubious decisions.
What was that? Just a few good men, mate. They don't want to know the truth, mate.
No, of course they don't. They don't like it. You don't like it, and they don't like getting called out. But when it's not, as I said before, when the shoes when they're fit, they're all at it like a rash, and they're all the victims under the sun. You know what I mean? Pardon the pun. But aye, that's right. All the big decisions and all the last big games and the meaningful games against that mob, we've had zilch off of these so-called referees. And it's back to the old swings and roundabout scenario again. It's either they're incompetent or they're cheating. And
By the way, all bear for the next time he's
do you know
on.
what?
Oh,
Do you know what as well? They don't even hide it anymore. That's
Oh.
what annoys me. They don't even hide it.
it'll frighten you, this. All bear might do a list for the next time he's on. How many goals you've been chapped off? It would frighten you, mate. You think of the
Six or
goals.
seven, mate. Right, I'll tell you right now, 6 or 7 in recent times. 6 or
Aye.
7 in recent times, without a shadow of a doubt.
And by the way, we've still
there
not
you-
seen the worst. We've still not seen the worst referee. I thought the referee take the big decisions out, the VAR decisions. I thought he was atrocious in his handling of that game. And people will say, wasn't he? He said he get most of the fouls right. Look at the Tavernier tackle. Yeah,
Yep.
Oh,
unbelievable.
I'll tell you something now. A pal of mine, right? I'll not mention his name for obvious reasons, right? But a pal of mine was a Grade 1 referee many years ago, and he refereed. You remember Scotland played in they got to the World Cup final at under 16s.
Yes.
Well, he was involved in that. He used to look after Pelly, God rest him, right? He was an ambassador for the SFA, and he told me how there were certain referees all getting fast-tracked, etc., that weren't good enough way back then. So there you go, mate. You know, that's how the SFA had been working, and he had enough of it. And he ran the line in all firm games and everything, so he did. You know, and he wrapped it because of what he seen that was starting to happen. So there you go, mate. You know, that's just we could rant and rave all night about the referees in Scotland, and I'm sure Wally will come on as well. Wally, the referee, he always comes on and makes good points. I'm sure he'll have his own thoughts in it and the rules
You
and
might
regulations.
struggle with the Crystal Maze, mate, but we'll get him sorted at some point.
Aye, well, if you're out there, pal, you need to get this downloaded, mate, and go into this. Try and go in here to help the boys out. But it's shocking, Ox. It's absolutely shocking. You know, it's just, you know, it beggars belief some of these decisions. You know, and when you look at the referees as well, etc. You know, there's incidents happening on the park. Port played the football. We all played the football at good levels and that. But you see the inconsistency of the decisions that these referees are making. You know, back to what I said there, Callum McGregor he had 11 fouls and wasn't even booked. Bailey Rice come on, he first foul, yellow card. Where's the consistency in that? Where is it? Where is your referees, the guys that overlook the referees to see they're doing a good job, etc., etc.? Where is their response to this? Where is their statement coming out and saying, by the way, the referee didn't have a good game, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that, we're going to try and do this to improve the standard of the refereeing? Where is it? Because we can't see it. The rest of Scottish football can't see it. So there's clearly something not right here.
No, I thought the ref was poor. It's still not the worst performance. The worst performance I've ever seen was, again, we won at Parkhead when Morelos got sent off, and we won 2-1 when Kent and Big Katic scored. And if you think of the goal they got that day, and they also, did they not get a penalty kick, if I memory serves me right, and McGregor saved it? Yeah, maybe I'm getting mixed up, but just from memory. But
Go with handball, I know.
Aye, the goal came from handball, didn't it?
Aye. Shocking, mate. Shocking.
Aye.
That was the season.
Clancy,
That was
there we go. I'll say it again. Clancy, fourth official. Walsh on the park and Frank Connor run the line. Coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm no one for conspiracy theories, as you well know, Port Bear.
Aye, dodgy surnames, mate. Was a partner of Virginia. I know. I've said for a long time, mate. You know, whenever you know we all played the game, whenever you never heard for the referee and the game was flowing, you know that's what I always said. Decent referee. No, you know you hardly see him in a game. The game just flows. he controls the game. He's the main man on the pitch, and he should be the main man because he should command respect, you know, and play the game fairly and honestly with a bit of moral, you know. And the referees in Scotland, unfortunately, have no moral compass, in my opinion. I think, as Billy's touched on, the standard of them for a start is shocking. I've seen better refs for Sunday morning league, I'm going to be honest, mate. And then obviously you take this into the professional game. You know, he's swanning about that pitch the other day, mate, like a peacock. He's wee fipped up on, you know, he's punching about with his chest out and talking to players. You know, to me, he just, you know, total disregard, no respect for players. That's the way he comes across to me, mate. It's a bit of a ponce. You know what I mean? He's absolutely atrocious, mate. As you said, every big decision where he should be grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and showing a bit of cojones, he bottled it, mate. Absolutely bottled it. You know, as I say, that penalty decision, we're all looking, fans are screaming, players are screaming, and you're thinking he's on the goal line practically. He's got to give this, and again, mate, bottle. Nay bottle, mate, nay honesty, nay moral compass. And within seconds, it's gone. Not even a bar check. Never even checked it at the monitor, as you touched on earlier on, mate. I don't know how it gets better, Oxford. I know Willie Collum was doing this wee thing for a wee while, where he was coming out on a Monday after the weekend's football.
I'll say it again then. I'll say it again, Port. Clancy, fourth official. Connor running the line. Walsh on the pitch and being supervised by Willie Collum. Did I go on?
Exactly, mate. Like I say, there's a pattern developing clearly, mate. And do you know the way I see it improving, mate? Maybe under the new regime, maybe they'll have a bit of backbone and challenge these things, mate. Because I think these are all right in terms of, and I've heard it more than tonight on the show. There's been a lot of time when we asked or expected chairman or somebody on your board, whatever, to question what's going on.
We've been doing this show for a long time between us all, yeah. And really, if you lose a goal, you come on, you say, by the way, see the goal we lost? I know it was offside, but you should never have got that for us. Big Shooter should have cleared it. But we'll take criticism, we'll criticise with it, right? And then it never happens, but it was still offside. Yeah, and we also say if you don't put the ball in the net, and we blame our own players for not being efficient in front of goal, we don't go out our way to look at officials. It's not something we do. Now, some people see the game differently. I would debate so with a lot of people, but referees put the ball in the net, keep it out of the net, and the referees get too good at the system. But when you watch that on Sunday, Albert, and even I take your point about it being an end of season game, but it's still, if you just critique that 90 minutes, it was shocking.
Oh, it's shocking, mate. There's no hiding the fact. And if you look at what they've got now, they've got themselves in their two lines, which they've always had. They've got a fourth official, they've got somebody in the stand, they've got umpteen people in the VAR room, and still they can't get it right. Is that intentional? Or is that all mistakes? That's everybody making mistakes here. Don't think so, mate. I don't think so. Right. It's just highlighting. It's just highlighting how, as Bully's saying, incompetent or cheating or both. I think it's both, mate.
Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Great to hear old Billy, the Crystal Maze man who sorted it out. Listen, last word for your good self, Billy boy.
Aye, well, I was going to say thanks for taking my call, but old Chestnut, you know. Aye, well, listen, the quicker this season's played to a finish and done, and we can see what these new investors are going to bring to the club and what kind of stature we're going to start the next season with. It can't come quick enough, to be honest with you, you know. So, but anyway, it was nice chatting to you all, lads. And listen, it'll no matter anyway. Win, lose or draw, it's a Glasgow Rangers story, and they'll never take that away from us.
Yeah, I was thinking about investing myself, but all my money's gone, and that sounds super sick. So, Billy boy.
Oh, well, listen, did he talk to me about money as well? Because the corruption in Scottish football done me for a lot of money on Sunday. I'll just leave it there.
All right, mate.
Have you been on Celtic?
Billy boy.
What's that? Sorry.
I don't know what all
Were you betting on Celtic?
Aye, I'll crack your jokes all better. You know me better than that, buddy. I wouldn't bet him with stealing money. I wouldn't bet him with stealing money.
Oh dear, good you know, Albert. Good to hear from you, Billy. Last word for your good self.
Yes.
Oh, I nearly fell off my chair there. Ah, great. Well done, Albert. I know, great show, lads. Enjoyed that right again. We crack this code, but get this teams thing sorted, boys. But great show. Enjoyed that. Ox. Cheers, and Albert and the Techie boys.
We're getting there, mate. We're getting there.
Yeah.
It's all new to everybody, but we're getting there. If people would stop playing with buttons and stop answering all different things, mate, it's a lot easier. Cheers, mate. Albert, he was trying to answer a call or something was the own, but that's another story. Yeah.
Aye,
Albert.
don't worry about that. Aye. I'm new in touch with the International Space Station right enough, so I'm going right on it after calf here. Aye, good night, mate. Enjoyed that. It was a good conversation. Usual, get it off your chest. Bully boy wouldn't support. He wouldn't gamble on them. I know that, pal. Yeah, I enjoyed it, mate. Well done. Well done to Techie boys, by the way, because this is turning into something really difficult. But anyway, they've done it. So, looking forward to using it, getting into it tomorrow night to see who actually manages to crack the code.
Yes, well, they'll get there, mate. The boys will get there. I'm sure they will. We'll get it sorted. It's all came out as quicker than we hoped, and we're on top of it. We'll get there. Back to normal ASAP. But listen, thanks to Billy for joining us. Thanks to Portbear and Albert for taking the time to join us here on Rangers Radio. Boxing Old School Blue will be doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night, talking about all things Rangers. And I'll have my two guests for the weekend. One I had for breakfast on Sunday morning, another one I was out with Saturday night. Take it away, Old School Boy.